We're just live. It's funny.
The Mike Times
Jerm.
Show. The Mike Times
Jerm.
Show. With New York Mets. Maybe even
Buffalo Bills.
other stuff about sports. Sports teams, especially the sports in New York. I love New York. The Mike Times
Jerm.
Show. The Mike Times
Jerm.
Show. Whoa!
I'm used to Corey saying, and we're live, or whatever he says.
We are live. Well, no,
Yeah.
he doesn't say it like that.
Also, I'm kind of bummed. I realized we're on the Divide overlays, and I don't have the new cool bumper. Should I switch it?
Yeah, we can go over to the, let's see.
What do we got?
Go to the stuff about sports, maybe. There you go. And then you want to play the bumper opener right there? Right
Find
there?
out
Yep.
next.
Give them a shot to do what?
So why Jerm fixed the graphics? Oh, there we go. Happy hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. On vacation, I saw that debut. That video. I screenshotted it. Screen captured it and put it right into my Instagram story because
That's awesome.
That's awesome because it's our network. It's
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
It's freaking dope.
It's crazy because like it does highlight all the great things. Like people see us in the studio or I'm at my house with my bad green screen background. Or
No, it's not bad.
all of our networks, we're doing these things via, in separate areas, but like the biggest part of the network is all the live events
Yeah.
that we do. And, really honestly, all the hard work that you and Ty do. Like I do the graphics and that's cool.
Stop.
It's a team effort. It is. I say it all the time.
It really is.
It is a team effort, but at the end of the day, somebody physically has to be out there. And I want to commend you and Ty because, like, nobody is better at the negotiating table than you are. Nobody's better at putting things together and bringing people together than you. Nobody's better than Ty on a camera.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to visualizing and making things look good and making events look bigger than they are or making everybody feel important, you know, big or small job, Ty makes it grand.
No, yeah, he captures the moment like nobody could ever. But it's all, we can't do what we do if you don't do what you do. And like it's like I said, it's a circle. We could just sit around and like be like, wow, look at this guy. But when I go into a room and I'm confident, because really I'm just a mouthpiece, right? And I'm confident because I know we could deliver. Like some of the stuff that I tell people we're able to do, I don't even know if we're capable of doing it.
Oh, no,
and
we
then,
are.
And then we figure it out, right?
are.
So that's the beauty of, dude, all the graphics you make, whether it's for us, Fox Sports The Gambler, any of our clients that we have, and also shows on this network that have clinged on. And, like we were saying upstairs before we went live, like we tend to gravitate to good people. And that's pretty dope. And, that's you, man. You're the straw that stirs this drink. And I freaking love just bragging about you, man. So I'm sorry. I know you like to say team effort. This is Jerm. It's the Mike Times Jerm show right now.
Yeah,
if you're not tuning in, if you're just tuning in, but yeah, dude, I'm giddy whenever this guy's around because one, he's the best on a microphone I've ever met in my life. Two, he's the best with a pen, and two, like obviously, like he makes these graphics, and he's just an artist. And we got to experience that today from afar. I was in LA.
Yeah.
Jerm was in our studios in New Jersey. Ty was on location, and Sean Bray snapped a picture of Mark Henry, just admiring two graphics that this man made, and that's what it's all about, dude. I felt like I was like, it was an art gallery, and this guy was just admiring your art.
Yeah,
and it was such a great feeling because I know we both love the WWE, but Mark Henry is
legend,
absolute legend. Like, and I feel like the gimmick Sexual Chocolate was to try to degrade him in a lot of ways, and he took it Do you feel the same?
I feel like, especially in the early '90s, and honestly, it's easy to say it now with knowing what we know about Vince McMahon. But I mean, if you look at it, I mean, think about it. Like, just think about the early '90s in terms of stereotypes. Like the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, like the yellow Asian Ranger,
Dude, that's crazy.
the
right?
black Ranger, and then like the bubbly white girl.
Did
was
any
the
of
Pink
us
Ranger.
peep that?
Not
Like,
at the time, because we just wanted to watch the Rangers kick putty ass.
Yeah.
And that was good enough for us, right? Like it was just, but you know, as you get older, you notice these things, and and you notice things in shows that we grew up on, some of the racial or sexual undertones that, you know, were just widely accepted. So I think a big, overbearing black man,
Yeah.
kind of just being a sexual figure was
Right.
like, you know, I'm not trying to get too historical, but like you read historical stories of white women slave owners wanting the big black guy to like have relations with them.
Yeah.
Like that's like a thing, right? Like that's, you know, you go to my Bang Bros folder. There's a whole section of it. And so like, I think Vince McMahon thought it was funny, and I think, you know, you go back to a lot of the gimmicks that he kind of put out, and some of the humor he thought was funny.
Right.
Like I'm sure Mark Henry's size and who he was and his race had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I don't know.
He made it work though. That's
He
a
really did.
legendary gimmick.
And then I feel like the whole Mae Young thing, like that made it even stronger. Like
Right.
somebody made a comment today, like, "Oh, did you interview his son, the Glove?" Like, you know, like so, you know. But look, man, like he's definitely the coolest part of that. And if you haven't seen it yet, go to Fox Sports The Gambler or the Solid Monsters YouTube page.
Shout out to them.
And yeah, it was an awesome interview. All the graphics made by this man right here. You know,
effort.
produced by Ty. I was on vacation, just you know, helping where I could. But Mark Henry shares like the Black history in wrestling, and it was really dope. One, I was so happy it was within the first couple minutes of the show. Like we went right into it. Like two, just shows what he is. But also he called The Rock a heel in real life, and I was like, holy,
There's some in like beef there that we don't know about.
Yeah,
I like that. Though.
And but
I like
he curved away after it, like, you know, a
100%.
little bit.
You can't
but
go after The Rock no matter. The Rock.
He thought about it.
Yeah.
He thought about it.
I'm of the belief like you can't get to that level without ruffling feathers. Like you have to be a level of jerk to an extent. Like very few people in this world, like nice guys finish last is a saying for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always the jerks that for some reason end up on top, end up on power. Like you think like with the Diddy stuff coming out, you know, outside of just the weird things that he was forcing people to do, but like you hear about some of the ways he was taking money from his own artists. Like, you know, 112 made $12 off of a #1 album that sold millions of records, and they made $12 off of it. And it's like you hear stuff like, but people praise Diddy because he's a mogul and and then, you know, Stone Cold Steve Austin said it best: "Don't trust anybody because we never really know who these people are." Like, you know, it's sad. It's sad, you know, for a guy from our childhood, you know, knowing Diddy in his prime, to hear these things about him, like even like hearing about The Rock, like hearing Mark Henry, who was in a faction with The Rock, have an animosity towards him for whatever he, you know, obviously he didn't share the exact reason why, but he has a feeling on it, and there has to be a reason. It wasn't just nothing. It wasn't nothing. It was something that happened between the two of them that Mark Henry made that comment.
Yeah, he made it seem like it was off of like very small monetary money. Yeah. But he's like, I always said, if somebody owes you something, like you're never broke. Like
he's
that's
old
fair.
School. He's old school. That's
old school.
And I appreciate that about him. And I think that is something, you know, he's one of those guys, you know, maybe not what you would look at as top tier WWE like face of the company, but like he's got to be one of those guys in the locker room that were like,
and no disrespect to The Rock by any means, but you know, we're talking about two main eventers right now that Mark actually are Mark Henry proteges that are in WrestleMania, and they're both female, and The Rock can't get his daughter there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
right?
So it kind of goes to show the difference between the two.
Yeah.
Like I'm not, The Rock is The Rock. His daughter's his daughter, and maybe like she just can't figure it out.
Yeah.
But it seems like Mark has that kind of Dusty Rhodes type capabilities of being able to grow the sport after it's past them.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited. It was definitely a really awesome moment for everybody. Shout outs to our network, High Spots Podcast, who helped connect the dots to have Mark Henry in the iHeart Studios. But also, like I said, from you to Ty to just what we do here, it was just really epic to see it all come together and knowing that, like, hey, you're on vacation with your family. Like, yeah, granted, you were in our studios here.
Yeah.
But Ty's running around. One day he's at a wedding. Next day,
3 weddings. He did three
weddings in one day. Yeah,
Sick.
it's so sick.
Sick. Nobody else is doing that.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. And then, next thing you know, we're doing this. We did the Sixers watch party. So it was just, just a series of amazing events. And speaking of amazing events, we're not even there yet. WrestleMania.
Yeah, bud.
Yeah.
It's a reason why. There's a reason why Mark Henry is in town. There's a reason why Jeff and Brian, High Spot Podcast, check them out on the Give Us a Shot Network.
Yeah.
www.giveusashot.network and subscribe to the YouTube. Thank you very much. We are fastly approaching 2,500 subscribers, by the way.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's been a blessing. But I just wanted to shout out those guys for coming through the iHeart Studio. I want to give a special shout out to iHeart Philly and Fox Sports The Gambler for hosting and kind of letting us grow and do the things that we have to do. But yeah, shout out to the High Spot Podcast. Shout out to Mark Henry. My bad.
Man.
I didn't mean to hijack that.
No, you're right. Like that's really what this whole moment is for, is shouting out people that are doing some awesome stuff. And look, it's going to get crazier. Like tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. So I want to know your predictions. The first one I want to know is that tag match. Like, how is that going to unfold? Like, is The Rock pinning Cody Rhodes?
So this is hard because it can go a number of different ways.
Yeah.
I would assume they would want Rock and Roman Reigns to win.
Right.
How they're going to win is the key. I believe that match is going to sow the seeds to WrestleMania next year, where The Rock can actually face Roman Reigns.
I love it. So
I think The Rock is going to take the pin because they've changed his graphics. The final boss.
Yeah.
He's coming out to this grand entrance on his own, doing these things. I think in the tag match, now he's with the Tribal Chief.
Yeah.
In this tag match against their two biggest rivals right now, The Rock making the pin, winning the match, is going to kind of, and then him afterwards saying, yeah, I beat Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. We won that match because of me. You lost your title.
Right.
Maybe I should be the Tribal Chief.
Right.
That's how I think this is going to go. I think this is going to be, hey, I won the tag match. I did my part of the deal. You kind of held me back there, kid. You know what I mean? And now you lost the title.
I love it.
How can you be the Tribal Chief?
Yeah.
If I was in the title match, I would have beat you.
Yeah.
I would have beat Cody because I already did, or whoever he pins in that match. I beat Seth, whatever. I would assume it'd be Cody because, I think there's going to be some bloodline interference. The Rock is going to pin Cody because I think it's fairly obvious Cody's going to win this match against Roman Reigns.
Yeah. And
I think that will sow the seeds because The Rock and Roman Reigns do not need a title.
No.
So
yeah.
So I think we're going to get a year of Roman Reigns not as a champion.
Almost like a Brock Lesnar type thing.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And because he's already not there enough anyway.
Yeah.
And I mean, they've done a really good job with him having the title to do all that stuff. But yeah, I think that's the way it's going to go there.
My next question for you, and I have you. So Damian Priest, does he cash in either night?
The problem is I forgot that he was Money in the Bank.
Right, exactly. And I feel like everybody is. Like, I was waiting for that with Solomonster. I was waiting for that with Mark Henry. I've been waiting for that, like any podcast I listen to.
Yeah.
And everybody's forgetting about it. So did I just wake the sleeping giant?
It would make sense for him to do it the Raw after Mania on Seth. Seth's already banged up. I know he just got cleared.
He needs a break.
It would, and honestly, I think either Drew, after doing all this complaining, finally does win at WrestleMania.
Okay.
Thinks he's going to have his moment, because that was the start of this build. People forgot.
I like that move.
It was him winning in
I
the.
like this move.
It was him winning in the WWE bubble, right? In the COVID year, and he didn't really get his WrestleMania moment. Now he gets his WrestleMania moment, but here comes Damian Priest 30 seconds later, and he wins. And now you have a match. You have
People
a
would
build.
mark out.
It would be crazy.
Yeah.
That's the way I think that would be the smart thing, because one, people forget he has Money in the Bank. So when Drew wins, it's going to be like, oh man. And then all of a sudden, here comes Damian Priest. Oh yeah, he does have Money in the Bank. So hey, shout out to Mike Hughes, man. Thank you for supporting us, man. You've been a tremendous addition to the network. So I have to give you a shout out.
There it is, Mikey Hughes. Dude, man, it's been awesome. Like, honestly, he's been a part of the team and now it's just Facebook official, right? We just made it official. So we love you, Mikey. He's amazing, dude. He's nuts. I made fun of him, but it's the truth. Like, I go to bed, he texts me. I wake up. He already sent me a text like 2 hours later. I was like, "Yo, this kid does not sleep," and that's that. He's a hustler.
Hey, the Shy Kid podcast. Check him out on the Give Us a Shot Network. Check him out on TikTok. He's huge on TikTok, man. The Shy Kid, TheChi.kid. He's awesome. He makes. If you're a Chicago fan, he's hitting the Cubs games. He's giving you all the Chicago Sky. If you're a big WNBA fan. He's got all the Chicago Sky information, and Blackhawks, any Chicago sports, hit him up. He's great. He's a great one of the best doing it out there in Chicago
by far. Yeah, huge dude, great heart.
Yeah.
And he's also WNBA, right, like doing great stuff with women's sports, and he's just a good dude. Look, keeping it in that same fraction. Let's talk tag titles. What do you think is going to happen in WrestleMania with all that?
Who's in the tag match?
Dude, it's like a 6-man tag. Yeah. It's crazy.
Let me pull up this card
for undisputed tag titles. Yeah.
So
I'm hoping it's R-Truth and Miz. The awesome Truth. I would love to see that feud. Or the DX thing. What is going on with that? It's just there's a lot.
I probably see the Judgment Day retaining that.
Yeah,
it'll be because if Damian Priest does indeed cash in, now you have a powerful faction. You kind of need that.
The new bloodline.
You need that on Raw, and so you build that. You got Judgment Day retaining, because I don't see Awesome Truth or DIY. Maybe DIY, but they haven't. New Day. I'm pretty sure Big E's coming back here pretty soon.
I hope so.
That
sucks, man. That sucked the heart out of that whole.
He says, "Except the Bulls, we will not allow toxic relationships anymore."
Aw.
Hey, it'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You guys did it to yourselves, signing Vucevic and keeping DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. But once you get rid of those guys, it'll be all good.
Yeah.
What else? Rhea Ripley or Becky Lynch?
It's gonna be Rhea.
Yeah, 100%.
Becky doesn't need it.
No.
Also, I feel like kid number 2 might be on the way.
Yeah.
Also, it's been weird. Some of her backstage promos of do I still have it or whatever. She needs to go out and have her Shawn Michaels "I lost my smile" type moment, and then go away for it. Shoot.
They brought back the man, and I like it, but I like the Stone Cold version of the man.
I do too.
The simplified.
Yeah.
I don't like this goofy dressing one.
It's too much.
It's too much. It's a mix of her It's a mix of her big time Bex character and it's not the man.
Yeah, it's like Rollins, Big Time Bex, and the man,
It's-
all
that's-
rolled into
yeah,
one.
The
And
man
it's-
is a different. Like, go back and watch that Invasion. It's like the
She needs to be a
simplified.
badass.
Yeah, I don't like her.
yeah.
I don't like that. But it is what it is.
Also, I feel like they ruined her when they had her come back and like beat Bianca Belair in like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Like everybody was like, all right, this is like, no, you can't just do that, So
The 6-woman tag match is pretty easy. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi are going to beat Damage Control.
yeah,
Cody Rhodes is beating Roman Reigns. I feel like that's the most predictable. It's just how. I think is the Rock going to interfere?
fair.
Is the Bloodline going to interfere and the Rock's going to stop? That's another possibility.
I heard
right?
somebody say The Rock's mom would get involved. Like,
Yeah. Well, isn't she? No, I think it's his grandma.
Grandma?
Or
Is
whoever's
it-
getting inducted in the Hall of Fame. I don't know why
Okay.
she would. The easiest thing is if the Rock wins, and then they kind of sow that the Rock is like, yeah, man. See?
because Mama Rhodes.
And then Roman Reigns and the Bloodline are interfering, and then the Rock stops them. He's like, "You're the tribal chief. You're not supposed to be doing this shit." Like, maybe that's, I don't know. Maybe that's what that is.
And yeah, I
LA
don't know how you go from wanting to fight Roman Reigns to now.
The same reason why they went from, "Hey, Cody, I'm going to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania," and then everybody was like, "No, we don't like that." And then they're like, "All right, well now I'm just going to join the Bloodline." You
And
know
they
what I mean?
never react to like the fans like that. And they did it, but they did it in such a way that like people forget that the fans are the ones that injected this.
Yeah.
Right.
Shout
so
out to the fans, man.
my question to you is like, what would this card look like if CM Punk was still on the roster? Would The Rock be in it?
No, the Rock probably wouldn't be in it.
Would Cody Rhodes?
Yeah, it would be Cody. It would be Cody versus Roman, and it would be Seth versus CM Punk.
Yeah.
And Drew would have been just doing whatever.
Yeah, that's the guy that's
That's
benefited the most.
the most is Drew, and they're clearly working towards Drew versus CM Punk later. Maybe they'll save CM Punk for Seth for next WrestleMania, but obviously they can't do that for a year. So you set up Drew and CM Punk for SummerSlam,
Yeah.
and then I don't know if CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble next year. He could and face Seth, make that a thing.
Could. Yeah.
And then but they give you so many opportunities. Maybe CM Punk wasn't CM Punk part of like one of the first Money in the Bank matches. Like
He was, yeah. That'd
comes
be
back
dope.
and wins it, and then he just immediately is like, "Nah, I'm not waiting until WrestleMania."
Yeah.
Or no, maybe he does. He's like, "Yeah, I'm facing you at WrestleMania." Like,
Where's Mania next year? Is it Vegas? Can we look that up real quick? Sorry.
no, you're good. AJ Styles versus LA Knight.
Yo, LA Knight has been the most over guy like in the history, and it sucks that The Rock is back because now nobody it's kind of like everybody forgets about LA Knight, but LA Knight deserves a strap. He deserves like all these accolades, and it kind of sucks because he's getting old quick, and it took him a while to get there. And like you see him behind this, like I've seen so many clips of him behind the scenes or like in these like weird WWE promos and other events, and it's just like, dude, I'm happy that he's finally getting his due, but it's long overdue, and it kind of sucks.
I think they dropped the ball with LA Knight.
Big time. Yeah.
He was so hot. You didn't capitalize on it when you had the chance because
No.
CM Punk came back and The Rock came back.
Yeah.
They should have had him beat Gunther and at least give him something.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like it's hard to get it back, man. It's just hard.
He could have made the Intercontinental belt like back to the Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon era.
I get that they could have. I get that they had to pivot him out of the main title.
Fair.
It looks like he was on the way, but at that point, you either.
Figure it
Honestly,
out.
I thought we were going to get the Logan Paul LA Knight and make.
I thought so too.
But I would have made him beat Gunther.
Yeah.
That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania.
They dropped the ball with that.
It's unfortunate, and I don't know how they're going to be able to get it back. Like I really don't. I just,
He's got to win Money in the Bank. Speaking of it,
he has to win something big, like
Right.
Money in the Bank, or I don't know. He has to win. I mean, I don't
and
know.
he deserves it.
I don't know if he's going to win the Royal Rumble, but he needs to win a number one contenders. Something he needs to do something. But
Speaking of winning, our Mets finally won.
yeah, well, at least one of the two games.
We're 1-5.
Canceling games for rain is unbelievable. I knew this season was going to be complete ass when we canceled the opening day game because of the rain.
Right.
And I said, you know what? This season is cursed. It's not going to. 1-5.
Yeah.
Now, we shouldn't be shocked, Mets fans. Mike, we shouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
Scherzer told us.
Yeah.
Verlander told us.
Hey, it's gonna suck. We're out.
They're tanking for 2 years.
Yeah.
Period. Like, and so that's why they left. And Mets fans talked themselves into thinking that it wasn't the case, and it's absolutely the case.
Oh, it's definitely the case.
Why are we not signing Trevor Bauer for $1 million or whatever the minimum's going to be? Because that's all it's going to take. Our pitching sucks, and now Tyler McGill's on the IL. Kodai's hurt.
No.
Why would you not sign Trevor Bauer, who's been killing it for the Mexican Red Devils or whatever they're called,
Right.
and whatever other minor league team is signing him for the week while he's playing the Dodgers and the Yankees, just throwing Ks all over the place.
Also, like, I get DMs all the time from Met fans, like telling me I'm not a real Met fan anymore. I sold my soul to Philadelphia, like blah blah blah, all this crap. Right? Two things: watch Billions and tell me you still love Uncle Steve.
Yeah.
Second thing: watch Dumb Money and tell me you still love Uncle Steve. You can watch it. Like, literally, there's a movie and a TV show about this guy, and you're like, we shouldn't have a day where if he's a true Met fan and he owns our team, there should not be a freaking day where we're worried about our team performing like at an elite level.
No.
Without it being financials. So Uncle Stevie, put up or shut up. And that's the bottom line, because I'm so sick of this crap. Like, we've never had an 0-5 season in decades.
Yeah.
My man just gave us one. So we believe in Uncle Steve. He invited me into our club. Like, shut up. Like, it's so corny. You guys are all cornballs. Like, be a fan. Like, I still support the players on the field. Like, I still support my team, but also I know when bad business is happening, and that has happened in the Cohen situation, whether it's hiring old players, whether it's Verlander, whether it's Scherzer, where, like, on paper we were scary as you could be, but not investing in the team, and that's exactly what we're doing right now. And I get it. There's a lot of prospects, and Micah Hughes kind of talks me off the ledge more than most Met fans do about all these guys that are coming up and they're going to be amazing and all this other stuff. But that's not. I'm from the show me state, bro. Well, actually, I'm from Brooklyn, but show me, like, prove it. Like, I'm the now moment, and this is now. Like, I'm not going to Citi Field until I'm happy with the product. And, like, look, I'm still hoping we win every game. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm not stepping foot in there until I'm happy with the product.
Mike Hughes says, quick question. Can I have Pete Alonso yet?
It's going to happen, dude. Admit it. Like, the polar bear would look good in a Cubbies uniform.
He would look sick.
And he'd be happy there.
He would be happy there.
Yeah. Shout outs to Pete Alonso. 500 RBIs. Fastest Met to ever get to 500 RBIs. Maybe more than that. I forget what it is.
Mike, for the last 2 seasons, I have called out the Mets. Mm-hmm. I joined the Javier Baez train.
You did. The thumbs down.
I was all about it.
You were. That's Mikey Hughes' guy. I
was one of the first ones to say, this Steve Cohen thing isn't working out. And the Mets fans, I got kicked out of Mets Extremist. Like, yeah. I was the lone guy that said, this sucks. Mm-hmm. Fans should not be owning teams. And if they do own the teams, they should have no control of player personnel like Stevie has done.
Well, to bring it back to WWE and wrestling, AEW.
Yeah. It's gone.
Yeah.
Hey, and all you AEW fans out there that are trying to trash CM Punk, that company went to trash the moment he left. So whatever you're crying about, like, you can say he's saying whatever you want. The results speak for themselves. Yeah. Like,
Christian's better than Edge.
Yeah.
And to have Edge out there, this is the best place. Yeah. This is real wrestling. Like, bro, they should have at least had Sting come out and say that.
Yeah.
You know?
That's unbelievable.
I digress.
It doesn't make sense for a WWE guy to do it. That's the problem with it. Like, send the guys that you're so proud of. Send out the Bucks.
Right.
Send out Jungle Boy. There's a reason why he hasn't been on TV ever since.
But there's also the reason why like Cody Rhodes is now back in WWE after he was kind of shunned from a place he created.
Sick. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Disappointed in the Mets. I was one of the first ones that told Steve Cohen, all right, man, it was fun for like a couple years. Sell the team now.
Yeah.
I know you just bought it. Sell the team now. Or just get out of the way.
Yeah.
You can own the team, man. Just sit in your press box, hire a president, hire a general manager, hire a VP, hire everybody that does your job and just go away. Have zero input on anything and just collect the checks. Yeah. Steve Cohen, Jerm of the Give Us a Shot Network. These are only my thoughts and nobody else's. And the thoughts that I have do not reflect the thoughts and views and opinions of anybody else in the Give Us a Shot Network. I am telling you to sell the team. It's not working. You are paying Scherzer and Verlander money to not pitch for this team. Big money. They both were in the World Series last year. It's unbelievable. The Mets sign Trevor Bauer. You want to make it up to me? Sign Trevor Bauer. Just pretend that you're trying. Pretend you give a damn. What's the plan? To give Juan Soto $750 million for 30 years? What's the plan?
To use Steve Cohen's own Trevor Bauer, dumb money.
Dumb money.
Yeah, that's his saying. Like that's what every trader says when he would talk about the short with GameStop or anything like that. Oh, this is dumb money.
Yeah.
Well, this is dumb money, man. Like go out there, get Bauer because it's embarrassing, dude. Like literally, like Diaz has been brought in and they play the trumpets and crap, and it's 2 games in a row. It hasn't been a save situation. We haven't had a save situation, so we won 1 game off a walk off, and we lost another one, in extra innings on a doubleheader, and then I don't know. It's just
it's embarrassing as a Mets fan. Like
it's tough, man.
But again, we shouldn't be shocked because we were told, and we just didn't want to believe it.
Yeah.
We were told this team was going to tank for at least a year.
And look, like don't get Trevor Bauer. Then like go be like, hey, look, like obviously we know what's going on. Talk to Boris, talk to Pete Alonso for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Buy the All-Star game, have a multi-year deal with Pete Alonso, and make me feel good because if not, he's going to Chicago.
Now, I will tell you, Pete Alonso's a little bit too inconsistent for me to trust giving big money to.
Yeah.
I don't.
And emotional, too.
Yeah, it's emotional.
Yeah.
And
it's got all of our worst qualities.
And I know Bert says that, if we could pay players or if winning home run derbies raises banners, then Pete Alonso's your guy. But he is, he's right. Like, Bert's Pete Alonso really.
Jerk.
He is a jerk. He is. I tell Bert all the time, I know who you work for.
Liberal media.
It's not even a joke. It's not a joke.
So it's just to watch the team be 1-5. Again, we're talking. It's a 162 game season, but the problem is when we get to where we're at with the money and everything is just simply gone wrong. And you don't want to go crazy this early in the season, but when it's kind of piggybacked off of the last few seasons, like. Yeah. It's like you see it, man. Like I just saw it a year early. Like I'm like, nah, man, this ain't. I called the season halfway through last season. I said this team is not good enough, and everybody's like, oh, well, shut up, man. I'm like, nah, man. Are you not watching the game? I'm watching the games. What are y'all doing? Like you're looking at box score. Like what's happening here?
Like,
it's watch the games. You can watch it and just be like, nah, this.
Yeah, and also like you could share your love for the Cohens, and you could share your love for the Mets and their dance party. I could also share my upsetness, right? And the fact is, doesn't make me less of a Met fan than you. Like honestly,
I hate that.
Yeah,
support your team. No.
Right. Yeah,
the fact that I can be objective,
right,
and just crap on my team when they deserve it makes me a better fan than you.
Yeah, because
I can be objective.
Because it hurts me,
yeah.
Right? Like as opposed to like just being there when they're winning, or being there when they're doing good. Like, oh man, like the Cohens had a couple of people in their press box, and they don't remember their name after that. Like let's not like pretend what it is and isn't. Like, you know what I mean? Like look it up. Like Steve Cohen paid the most ever in a fine in stock industry ever. Like it's crazy. But I'm not gonna lie, I would still be Steve Cohen if I could be, right? I would still be.
That being said, Steve Cohen.
Yeah, Vince McMahon in his prime without all the dirtiness. The guy that I would never want to be because he just looks like he's hyped up on Adderall is AEW or Tony Khan. Like, he just looks crazy. Like, even that Sting thing, like, dude, that was such an epic moment in professional wrestling. And then he comes out and he's just like screaming and like just like, I knew it about this. And I was just like, what is this dude even talking about?
He's a rich fan, right? Like,
that's it.
Who has his dad's money and it's a playground for him. CM Punk alluded to this on Ariel Helwani's podcast, MMA Hour, and he has been running it. Like, it's, the wrestlers, Young Bucks and those guys shouldn't be making decisions, and like you can see what's happening. It's they need a board. They need Mark Henry should be running AEW. I think
I agree. 100%.
Christian, Mark Henry, Edge,
even throw Edge in there. Yeah,
like have them. That's a move. Daniel Bryan. Those are the guys that should be running AEW because they've already come. Like
Jericho too.
Like they have been. Yes, Henry and Jericho and Edge and Christian specifically because they were in WWE at the height of its powers. Daniel Bryan led one of the greatest modern eras in WWE history. Those guys know what it takes behind the scenes to make it work. Those should be. I get that. I don't want to use the word indie, but they're a bunch of indie guys. Like, sorry, Bucks. Nobody knows who you are.
No, like even the Hardy Boys could come back to like WrestleMania, it'd be a bigger pop than the Bucks. Yeah. Like in my humble opinion.
Did you see the pop that CM Punk got when he came back? And every pop he's gotten ever since he's coming back.
Sick.
It's
right.
Like they chose Jungle Boy over him. That's insane. It's insane. It's insane what they're doing.
It's WCW, baby.
And
like it's like, hey, we'll take your
And they're like, oh man, we're glad this cancer's gone. I'm like, really? I mean, that cancer is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
MJF, do you think he shows up on Raw after WrestleMania?
Would be I can't wait for him to show up in WWE.
Right.
That'd be a huge blow for.
Because I'm hearing like now it's not going to happen in like 2025, but I think
he's hurt, right?
That's all ploy. Yeah, who cares?
Yeah,
like,
just show up,
bro. Like, even if he was like Randy Savage, Macho Man, like on the mic, him. Like Pat McAfee is so good, and Corey's like, oh, I know you're a Pat McAfee fan. Like, no, I'm a fan of Pat McAfee because he is finally taking the mic presence of Jerry the King Lawler.
Yeah,
MJF would be where Shawn Michaels was when he was through an injury, where Randy Savage was. It would be freaking dope to have that guy for 2 years and then finally like back in the ring.
He would be a perfect guy for WWE because like a LA Knight, even though he kind of shot to stardom pretty quick in WWE once he got going, he's 41 years old.
Yeah.
MJF is like 20 something.
Dude, him feuding with him, The Miz, like you name it. You could, Rollins, like just go down the list. It would just be epic. It'd be crazy. Epic.
It'd be crazy. It's something I would enjoy watching.
And they would have to tone him down a little bit, like Solid Monster was saying earlier on the airwaves. But dude, I just
see. I don't know.
I agree. I don't think they need to like
Vince
the
is
Rock
not there no more.
And the Rock is kind of taking us back there,
yeah.
right? Like
it can be done. And now that Vince is not there, I don't know if that's true anymore.
He was chill with Brooklyn.
They're going to Netflix, bro.
I know.
They don't have to do anything now.
Exactly.
This is like matter of fact. This is probably
gonna be.
This is in MJF's bag. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the time for that. Like. So SmackDown is going to be the kiddie show. That's going to be the PG,
right? On
USA Network. That'll be they'll put all the happy-go-lucky characters on there.
That's right.
And then like this reminds me of like Raw is War, like on
it's gonna be
on
nuts.
Netflix. Cursing, a Netflix budget. I hope they bring back the cinematic matches like with the Undertaker. Like that's what Sting and Undertaker and stuff. That's what that's for.
Yeah,
they can kind of do a movie thing. Kane. Imagine. Like, I would definitely bring back cinematic matches and do like people like that stuff, man. If it's done it's a fight scene. People like that.
It was definitely one of the coolest things I've ever seen when it's done right. Like Sting has had one, Undertaker, rightfully so. Yeah. They both have had matches that way. Like if it's done right, and Bray Wyatt too, and John Cena. That was probably number 3 on my list right there. It was awesome, but. Yeah, especially in this world in situations like where you could have that. Even the Undertaker thing where you had to, it was the New Day, like going into the Undertaker's house and you had to like pick like where they would go. Dude, that was awesome.
It's cool, man.
So
it's
cool.
It's cool.
It's so cool.
Embrace the future. Embrace the future. But now that Triple H is in charge, Nick Khan and TKO, like you said, The Rock's going in there going crazy. Mm-hmm. Raw's going to Netflix. So, I mean, I would imagine that kind of opens up.
You're right. It's got to open up.
So maybe, I don't know if they're going to be dropping F-bombs on there, but like if that's the toning down you're talking about, then cool. Yeah. But I don't think MJF has to tone anything down.
Bro, the Rocks are ready throwing F-bombs all over
the
place.
Right. And again, what do you censor it, man? Like that's what you do. Like censor it. And but now that you're on Netflix and you don't have to be censored, I mean,
it's awesome.
Let's go, man.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go to the future. I'm down with it.
Yeah. I love it. I love all this. Yeah, look, let's think about one more match before we get out of here.
Okay.
I'm trying to think.
Logan Paul, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. There's no way Logan Paul wins.
No, you can't. I hope. I want Kevin Owens to win.
Yeah, probably Kevin Owens. I think Randy's past winning titles. I would love Randy to get another. I would love Randy with the World Heavyweight title.
Yes.
One more time before he hangs it up. Right. And I think it'll happen next year. Maybe not for a long time. No. It'll be like, so that would be the MJF, like let Randy win it. And then that's the guy. Like you get MJF to win that title from Randy.
I like that move.
Kind of like how Randy won it from Chris Benoit, where one of the youngest champions, because now they have to erase Brock Lesnar as the, they erased him with Randy Orton. No, like So they have to do something. So it'd be cool. Randy doesn't need that youngest WWE champion ever thing anymore.
No,
you pass that. That'll be something cool for MJF to do.
And Paul is already like solidified prime in the center of the ring. Yeah. So he doesn't need a title anymore. Yeah. Like, right? He doesn't need mission accomplished. Like you got what you wanted out of the WWE. But also like hell of a wrestler too. Like talking about MJF, we're talking about The Miz, talking about shit. Who's the last guy? Damn. Whatever. Yeah. Like he's on that same trajectory. Like he is a hell of a wrestler. He's pretty good.
Street Profits versus Final Testament. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits are going to win that.
Yeah.
Io Sky versus Bayley. I got to imagine Bayley's going to win that.
These events make you realize how stacked this lineup is. Like the fact that Bobby Lashley is in a 3-man tag is just nuts. Like,
Jimmy versus Jay. It's going to be Jay. I mean,
it's got to be Jay.
That'd be crazy to have Jimmy win.
No, yeah, you can't.
Jimmy's the DUI one, right?
He's no, they took turns.
Okay. All right.
To be fair, I think they both have at least a solid one.
Jimmy
one and done.
Jimmy needs the honestly one and done. Jimmy needs the win.
Yeah, Jimmy needs it.
If you're gonna put them back together, Jimmy cannot be.
Yeah, they should hug at the end. Do you think?
I think it should.
Is it night 1 or 2?
It's probably going to be night 1. It's definitely night 1. So, if you're going to reunite the Usos, it depends what you're going to do with the bloodline. Mm-hmm. If they're going to, because Jay can't turn heel.
No. So Jimmy's got to turn good.
Jimmy has to turn face.
Right.
And then leave the bloodline. Then that would leave Solo and
Reigns.
And
there's another.
They signed Tama Tonga, who's technically not. He's like adopted.
Okay.
And he's not a Samoan. He's Tongan. That's why he's called Tommy Tonga.
Right.
But he was adopted by one of their Roman Reigns' cousin, uncle, somebody like that.
He's family.
He's family, and he's family. you can flip it if you wanted.
My favorite thing in the world was Charlotte and Peyton running down here to let Ty and I know that they both had an Uncle Jerm. So talking about family. So we're adopted family, so I'm not going to kind of downgrade any of that. But, dude, that was one of the highlights of my life. Like, they both, you won't believe this. Peyton has an Uncle Jerm. And we're both like, okay. And then I have an Uncle Jerm. And I'm like, it's the same Uncle Jerm. So it's just
funny.
nuts, man.
Yeah. My vacation here has been amazing. Coming down here, hanging out in the studio.
Yeah, man.
I wish I lived closer so I could do it more often.
Are you kidding me? Like, you built furniture for me? Like, you know.
Nah, it's been cool.
The most disappointing thing for me was when the dates didn't align with what Jen had planned. And I was just like, oh, come on.
Nah, that's life, man. It'll be all right.
It's
And
life, and we're still here right now, right?
Yeah,
So,
and we got our chance to do this, and we'll get more opportunities in the future. But again, want to shout out the Give Us a Shot Network, all our contributors, all the podcasts, JT and the Don, Dwayne Marcus and Martin, who do Protect Our Queens. You know, Mike Hughes from the Shy Kid podcast, Brian and Jeff, the High Spot guys, Mike and Corey, The Divide, me and Bert, Stuff About Sports. So
I like this move.
I like everything that the network is doing, man. I do. I like, you know, shout out to iHeart Philly, shout out to Fox Sports The Gambler, shout out to anybody who has liked us, subscribed, dropped a comment, shared, talked about us, hated on us, everything under the sun. Man, we are. I say it on Stuff About Sports. I mean, we are presented by the Give Us a Shot Network. We are powered by Fast Break Coffee, and we are always sponsored by the haters because without y'all, we're nothing. So shout out to y'all.
Who cares?
That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
That's all of us.
that's it, man.
Later.
Later.